If you've spent any time researching Pinterest marketing, you probably have come across 10 different people telling you 10 different things. Post 20 times a day, post once per day. You don't need followers, you need followers. Affiliate links will get you banned, automation will get you flagged. It is exhausting, and sadly, most of it is wrong. So today, we're cutting through the noise and we're busting the most common Pinterest myths that are keeping beginners stuck and replacing them with what actually works in 2026. Hi, I'm Max. I help bloggers, online sellers, and affiliate marketers get their content seen without burning out. If that sounds like your vibe, now's a great time to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos like this. In today's video, we're talking about Pinterest strategy and busting some of the biggest myths. We'll talk about follower counts, posting frequency, content creation, affiliate links, and all the tools people are afraid to use. So if any of these have been holding you back, this video is about to change the way you think about Pinterest. So let's get into it. Myth number one, you need a lot of followers to get traffic. This is probably the most common reason people give up on Pinterest before they even give it a real chance. They look at their follower account and compare it to someone with 50,000 followers or 5 million monthly impressions, and they assume they can't compete. So here's the truth. Pinterest is a search engine, not a social media platform. So the algorithm does not care about how many followers you have, and it doesn't prioritize your followers the way Instagram or TikTok does. Instead, it prioritizes relevance. So when someone searches something in Pinterest, the platform is going to serve them the most relevant, well-optimized content that it can find, regardless whether you have 200 followers or 200,000. This means that a brand new account with strong keywords and clear, helpful pins can absolutely play in the same ballpark as an established account. Followers are more of a vanity metric on Pinterest, in my opinion. Saves, clicks, and relevance are what's going to move the needle. So stop counting your followers and start focusing on your keywords. If you need help understanding keywords, I've got a full video on that, and I'll leave the link to that video in the description below. Myth number two, you need to post 20 times per day to see results. This one has been floating around the Pinterest marketing world for many years, and it sends a lot of people into burnout before they ever see traction. Pinterest does not have a magic number for posting frequency. What the platform actually rewards is consistency over time, not volume in a single day. So posting 1 to 3 fresh pins per day consistently over months will outperform someone posting 20 pins in a week and then disappearing for 3 weeks. Another thing to understand is Pinterest is a slow burn platform. So most accounts start to see real movement around the 60 or 90-day mark, and meaningful traffic growth typically will take 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months. This is not a bug. This is just how a search engine works. And remember, Pinterest is a search engine. So the upside is your content that you post today will keep driving traffic for months or even years, and that's something you won't get if you're on Instagram or TikTok. So instead of asking how many times you should post per day or pin per day, ask yourself, can you show up consistently for the next 6 months? And what would that look like? 1 pin per day, 2, 3? That is up to you. So myth number 3, you have to consistently create brand new content. This myth trips up a lot of bloggers and shop owners who feel like they have to keep producing new ideas every single week just to stay relevant on Pinterest. That's not how it is. The reality is one piece of content can fuel weeks or months of pins. So every time you create a new pin image for the same URL, whether it's a blog post, a product page, or a landing page, Pinterest will treat it as fresh content. So a different image, a different headline, different keyword angle, same destination. So each one of these new pins is another entry point for a different person searching for something maybe slightly different, all trying to get to your blog or shop. So if you have 5 blog posts or 5 products, you do not need 5 new pieces of content next month. What you do need is 5 new pin designs for each one. So you could target different search queries and then gradually distribute them over time. That's how one piece of content can turn into dozens of opportunities to get discovered. And it's exactly the kind of workflow that a tool like Pin Generator is built to support. You can connect your URLs, generate multiple pin variations quickly, and schedule them to go out over weeks so your account stays active without you having to start from scratch every single time. Myth number 4, Pinterest is just a social media platform. This one matters because how you think about Pinterest completely changes how you use it. Pinterest is not a social media platform. It's a visual search engine. On Instagram or TikTok, your content might live for 24 or 48 hours before it disappears into the feed. But on Pinterest, a well-optimized pin can drive traffic for months or even years after you post it. Nobody is scrolling their Pinterest feed just waiting for you to post. Instead, they're searching for specific things, and your job is to make sure your content shows up when they do. This also means that engagement metrics like likes, comments, and shares mean less on Pinterest than they do on other platforms. What matters is whether your pin shows up in search, whether people click on it, and whether they save it. So those are the signals Pinterest uses to decide whether your content is worth showing to more people. So once you stop treating Pinterest like Instagram and start treating it like Google, everything about your strategy starts to make more sense. Myth number 5, affiliate links will get your account banned. We get this question constantly, and it comes from a place of genuine confusion because there's a lot of bad information out there, and sadly, a lot of spammers too. So affiliate links are allowed on Pinterest. Pinterest's own affiliate guidelines confirm this. The platform is actually well suited for affiliate marketing because every pin has a destination link built into it, so you can actively leave Pinterest and send people to your site, shop, or affiliate link. Pinterest actively wants people to click off the platform and make purchases. The catch is not the affiliate links themselves, it's the behavior around them. So posting the same affiliate link over and over in a short period of time is what gets accounts flagged, not the links. Using link shorteners like Bitly or tinyurl is what gets pins blocked, not the links. And failing to disclose that a pin contains an affiliate link puts you at legal risk. So it's not the link, but the fact that you didn't disclose. Does that make sense? So the rule is simple. Disclose your links, use your full affiliate URL, space out your pins, and create content that's genuinely useful. Do those things and affiliate marketing on Pinterest will be completely above board. Myth number 6, automation and AI tools will get you flagged. This one also comes up a lot, and it's worth addressing carefully because there's a real line here between what helps and what hurts. So Pinterest actually encourages the use of scheduling tools. I mean, Pinterest has its own native scheduler as a tool as well. Things like Tailwind is an official Pinterest partner, Canva has a scheduler, and Pin Generator is built to work within Pinterest guidelines too. Using these tools to schedule and distribute your content consistently is not only allowed, but it's a smart Pinterest practice because Pinterest rewards steady, natural activity, and scheduling tools are exactly how you can maintain that without it taking over your entire week. What Pinterest does penalize is a completely different thing. So mass automated behavior like fake engagement, or bots that artificially inflate your saves or clicks, and low quality AI generated content that adds no real value to the platform. These are the kinds of things Pinterest hates. Think walls of keyword stuffed text generated in seconds with no genuine insight, or copied pins or mass produced pins without any original thought. This is what will get your account flagged, not the tools themselves. So the line is really between using technology to help you do your job better versus using technology to fake doing your job entirely. Does that make sense? One is smart marketing, the other is spam, and Pinterest is getting really good at telling the difference. Pinterest is full of advice that sounds convincing but keeps beginners spinning their wheels on things that don't actually matter. The best strategy is understanding how the platform works and showing up consistently with content that answers what people are already searching for. Do that and everything else will start to fall into place. If you have any questions about anything covered today, drop them in the comments below and I'll answer them as best as I can or turn them into a future video. And if this video helped you out, now's a great time to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos like this. I'm Max, I share weekly Pinterest marketing videos to help you get your content seen without burning out. I'll see you next week. Let's get generating.